Okay, namaste, wonderful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a lovely Friday gathering. And like we do, we're going to start with our breath work, but I really wanted to give you this jewel of wisdom. This is from Yogananda. So pranayam is known as breath practices, as we know, in the yoga world. But take this in. This is really deep. Every time we do pranayam, we reverse the life force from matter, from our material self, to spirit. That is pranayam. So we have this ability through our breath practice to move from matter to spirit. That's pretty powerful stuff. So think of that not only as a breath technique, but as a way to connect and release the bondage of matter in the material world. Now, of course, we're in our body, and that's a big part of the Hatha Yoga, but the breath work gives us that profound ability, true meditation, to move again from matter to spirit. This is called pranayam. So I wanted to highlight that, and we're going to begin with that, and then just keep returning to that and keep remembering that if you have meditation practices, and take it from the breath practice to some very, very high level of connection to spirit. All right. So having said that, I will go back to farther back to the mat. We're tracking the light here. Go on. And starting with a comfortable seat. And let's go ahead and, just tune in, closing the eyes, softening the shoulders, palms up if you like, thumb, index finger together, and just see and feel and sense into the breath now. Life force, spirit. Soften the physical body and the material world occupation, which is big. And then in the next inhale, just expand the belly, expand the ribs, expand the heart, open through the spiritual eye, sixth chakra, crown of the head. And then receiving on the exhale, clarity, wisdom, spirit, life force, energy within you and all around you. As you continue, your thoughts and feelings, we know, are like waves coming and going. They're always coming and going, but we're dropping back to the ocean of presence, the ocean of spirit. And that's our true nature. That's already whole, already free. So we have this ability to consciously return through the vehicle of pranayam. Prana, life force, energy, breath. So consciously breathing, which is very different than unconsciously or subconsciously breathing. I'll take that into movement. And if you want to bring an intention, I'm holding that intention for our class today, that every breath is a return to spirit. We're going to bring the hands to the heart. I'm going to press lightly or medium on the heart. And a little different in our neck work today, bringing the left side of the chin toward the left corner of the ceiling as you're pressing down through that left shoulder. So you're really opening the sternocleidomastoid muscle here. As we press into the heart, we draw those shoulders down and we breathe in, tailbone down into the left side of the neck, drawing up and opening. You should place your hand on the side of the head, but you can get this effect with the hand on the heart. Hands on the heart. Okay. Come back to center. Use that exhale out sound as we bring the right side of the chin to the right corner of the ceiling, pressing down through both shoulders, pressing the hands to the heart. Hearing the inner sound of the breath. Appreciating that anchor back home. Feeling the connection with every breath. And when you're ready, if it feels complete for you, you can hold longer or shorter and back to center. Very good. Hands on the top of the knees, rounded spine. Exhale, yin fades. Inhale, belly, heart, crown, lips, the back bend. So we're lifting up, eye gaze up. And one more rounded spine. This is tricky, you can bring the knees up. And we'll do that eventually because we'll come to the mat soon. Opening the spine, the space between each vertebra, opening the heart, belly, heart, crown. Inhale, lengthen out. Okay, returning, turning from these pauses with conscious breathing. As we're in the pose and in between the poses, drawing the knees up, unwinding a bit. Unwinding. Move this out to the side. Pranayam. Have your props by your side. Blankets, blocks, strap. And we're going to use the core strength to ripple down. So first, heart lifts. Same type of movement we just did. Exhale. Take your time here. Really draw the navel. Feel the core as you rock and roll, releasing the low back, the mid back, the upper back, pressing your feet, which will press the spine, the back body into the earth, arms stretch overhead, expansive. Exhale, drawing the knees in to the shoulders, ironing out the back body. Rocking side to side, head's going along to the right. Again, that unwinding. And conscious breathing. We're going to do a butterfly flow. So, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. This is too much. You can have your feet on a bolster or a blanket. Draw the thighs away from you. Again, returning to the pranayam, conscious breathing, hearing that oceanic sound. Moving from matter to spirit. What a gift. Every breath. And we're going to rock and roll a little bit in our butterfly. I'll show you what this means. So we're going to slowly draw the knees in. That's not super slow for the shape, that'll come later. Draw the knees in. Once the knees come in, plant the feet, plug in the spine. Low, mid, upper back, and then exhale, open again. Okay, we'll do three to four of these. Inhale, with the inhale, the inner thighs and knees are coming together. And then the feet flatten, the top of the inhale. And when it's time to exhale, we open up. Flowing in butterfly, flowing with pranayam breath. Inhale. Try to slow the inhale down a bit. That could be tricky. Pressing in and expansive, letting go. Returning. One more time, inhale. Plug in. Exhale, open up. And go. Okay, this next one, as promised, we're just going to do it more slowly. So we've done this before by drawing the thighs fourth of the way up. You might feel that shaking going on. Remember, this is that release of tension and release of trauma held in the body. The beauty of this shaking, we don't have to relive any historic traumas or tensions, but we can know it's letting go. So you may want to keep your eyes closed here and just let the shake happen. Sometimes when shaking, we tend to get self-conscious about it, but that's the beauty of Zoom, right? I'm not watching anybody else, it's just feeling our experience. Letting the release happen. And you'll feel that ripple probably through the spine as well, maybe not as hugely in the legs, but it is happening. Okay. And we're starting to bring keep that exhale and inhalation and connection of the pranayam breath as we bring the knees in toward one another. And then once the knees come in, we're going to move the feet out wider to the outside corner of the mat. And draw the knees in for a moment. That's containing the energy. Full yogic breath, belly expands, heart opens, crown opens. Let's exhale through the mouth. Letting go, crown, heart, belly. Really notice how the breath practice, the pranayam, returns you to spirit. And then the knees come up, arms come out, lift the hips a bit to protect the low back, windshield wiper the knees over to the right. And we'll sweep the left arm overhead, and that rainbow arc, and affirm divine life is within me and all around me. You can say it outwardly or inwardly or softly to yourself. Divine life is within me and all around me. And then as this left arm comes up, by the ear, reach up through the left arm. Maybe feel that opening more deeply in the left hip bone. Expanding open there. It's a T for the arms. And then floating that arm out again. And that was an L, now this is a T. Engage the core. Lifting up, going to swivel the hips over to the right. And of course, dropping the knees down over to the left. Windshield wiper. Blowing, unraveling the tension as the right arm comes up. And that rainbow arc. Head goes along to the right. Divine life is within me and all around me. Give yourself this gift of tuning into prana. Think of prana as the doorway that connects you to spirit. More and more subtle energy from the physical body, right? Takes the longest to change, of course, and bring this right arm up. But our thoughts change quickly, feelings a little more, could change, but a little more slowly than thoughts. But the physical body takes the longest to change, but the prana is right there. It's right there. The connection's there. And opening up that right hip bone, empty body. All that you can do for bringing me here today, because really do care. And arm comes out, engaging the core, swiveling back, and let's go ahead and shake those legs. Again, that shaking that we did, and Supta Baddha Konasana, we've been shaking, and we can add the arms too. Close your eyes, keep them open, whatever feels good to you. More shaking is so good. Release and flow. Any stuck energy. Unblocking. Those acupressure meridians. Folding the knees in. Big exhale. If your spine's okay, rocking and rolling, or rolling to the side. And then activate the core more. If you can, have the feet off the ground. We're going to do the tap down, the left toe taps, the right leg extends. We're going to exhale through the mouth. Switch. Within every breath lies infinite power, the power of connection. Within every breath lies infinite power, the power of connection to spirit. Okay, lengthen the feet, lengthen up. So we did the butterfly lying down. Let's do the butterfly seated. And just circling around with the upper body. 3 times one direction, flowing. And there are a lot of butterflies around now. So great to see them. And are expanding our wings of joy in our shoulders and in our heart. And our heart's capacity to feel deeply as we draw the knees in, and capacity for love and unconditional love. We're going to go into our standing flow. So, I'm a fan of the blanket for the knees. And you will enjoy that figure 8 of the hips. And of course, the shoulders and the elbows, real fluids activating. Okay. From here, I'm listening to the body. Tell her about, I'm listening to you. Inhale, I'm listening to the breath. Inhale, scoop it out. The spine. Exhale, round it. You want to? Come back toward the heels. It's more dynamic that way. Inhale again. Scooping. Knees lifting. Inner elbows forward if you can. And exhale. One more time. Inhale, scooping up. And then neutral spine to prepare for full body stretch, core strengthening, inversion, every muscle group activated, lifting off the knees, downward facing dog. Take your time to magnetize the heart. With the thighs, press into the base of the fingers. And as you feel that cleansing of the mind, cleansing of the body, long, calm energy radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Now here's a new one. Bend the knees and just kind of pulse or pump. Think of pumping, shaking. A shaking down dog by bending the knees and pulsing. So I like to come forward a little bit and back. Again, that shaking, releasing movement in our bending down dog. And then start to stabilize. Both are beneficial. Fluidity, stability. Walk one foot forward, then the other. Walk one hand, then the other. Slight bend of the knees for most of us. Massaging, especially the back of the neck, the ego jam, the knee, the ego. Sometimes called the ego, which we need, but it can get a little overactive. So we're letting it just, okay, you're there.
We're letting the energy not be locked in there. We want it to flow to the spiritual eye. Relaxing and casting aside any unnecessary mental worries and burdens, the overthinking that could happen. And then returning to prana, to life force energy. Pushing the crown, upper chakras. This is what's happening here. We have blood flow, that cleansing. And then let's come up into chair pose, Uttasana. When we come up, now I may not always make a big deal about this. When we bend the knees, I want those sit bones reaching back, almost like if there was a wall there, we touch the wall. Heart lifts, okay? And then we sweep forward and we pulse down a bit. It's strong. Every breath has infinite power as we surge up. Standing pose, thumb index finger together, maybe middle finger lengthening, grow. Feel the space all around you. Taking our moment in our mountain pose. First chakra, above the pubic bone, rooting down, supported by the earth. Notice what you're rooted in. I'm rooted in what? And what did I like to root forward? Second chakra, between the pubic bone and the navel, and this creativity, the sense of balance. How can balance? What is my life? What would be a good area to bring balance to harmony? Something's tilted to one side or the other. Just going to go through 3 and then 4, 5, 6. The third chakra, solar plexus, empowered fire energy. So how can I feel that right use of power? That right use of power. And connected to our spiritual self as we go into the world as the right use of power. Empowered by, and then the heart center, love, the ability to give, to forgive, healthy boundaries as well. So much going on in these chakras. And we're opening, we're going to go into our flow sequence here. We're flowing throughout, but in a classic way. We're offering in our sun salute our prayers of care to others. And if you know 1 or 2 people you'd like to send extra care to or area of the world. For the higher consciousness, to the opening of higher consciousness in all beings, tapping into the higher conscious places in our spiritual eye, such chakra, the crown, lengthening and growing. You decide on your back bend, if you would like. Inhale, coming up, large toes turn in, swan dive forward, hinging at the hips. Forward fold. Just touch into it. Inhale, scooping out. So lifting up. Again, those sit bones are drawing to an imaginary wall behind you. And then we exhale. We're going to step it back. And we're going to step it back to 3-legged dog. If this is in your practice, it may not be, that's fine. Modify it so it works for you. Right leg lifts up. Heart keeps radiating toward the thigh. You rotate, start with the rotation of the ankle. You stay with that, or you can bend the knee and open the hip out to the side. 2 or 3 times as you feel cleansing, calmness, even though it's active, you want to feel that calm, radiant peace of the prana, of the breath. And then we bring the chest, the knee toward the chest, and we step it between the hands, or, step, step, step out to the corner of the foot. And we pulse 1 time, inhale in our lunge.
And then exhale, round. Now, we're going to inhale, pulse up. And just we played with pigeon last week. This is sometimes called kamikaze pigeon. We're not staying in pigeon, in other words. I'm rolling my little toe side of the foot, the right foot out to the side, and I'm just kind of hydrating the hips, side to side. Should feel pretty good. You could circle, just play with the hip opening here. Yeah. Good. And then from here, we'll go ahead and lift the hips up and step back into plank. Turn around here. Step back into plank. Keep a strong plank. Couple breaths. Drop one forearm down, then the other. Forearm plank, couple breaths. Lift the whole body, strengthening. I am strong. And top of the knees. Uncurl the toes. You start to feel the cobra. Opening those wings of joy. Soaring upwards. So let's hydrate those wings of joy. Scapula more. By rocking side to side. And then from here, the elbow tips come back, hands underneath the shoulders. Plant into the tops of the feet. Lifting up into your cobra. Inhale. Knees on or off the ground, lion's breath. 3 times. Take out the tongue. Eye gaze up. Open to this day. Connected. Feel the breath. And fine. Okay, now we're going to ripple down. And first chakra, second, third, and we'll take a moment of rest, stacking one hand and the other. For yogic breathing. Feeling, transforming the matter of the physical body that's here, tuning into the prana, the life force energy. So matter transforming, returning back to spirit. Beautiful, deep practice of yoga. Arms come out to the side, just to set up. So we're going to get into that shoulder a little bit more before we do this, the other side. So I'm going to bend my right elbow, and we want to wedge that left scapula underneath us. Now, for some people, this is a lot, okay? I'm bending my knee, and it could be too much. So depending on the arm behind you, it's a little bit less if you bring it down, a little bit more if you reach it out to the side. I forgot you can use it on blanket by your head here. But we're just really trying to, you're opening the hip and the scapula. Remember those 8 points, the hip and the shoulders. 4 points there, really important. Open those up. Whew. Then applause, and then come back. Keep flowing. Come back and bridge into, well, it's cobra, but we're coming into our forearm cobra, and then rising up, and then we're bringing our hands back. 2 breaths here. The wings of joy, especially that left scapula more open. We'll get to the front one eventually. Knees touch down, and take a moment in prayer pose. Bow into the wisdom of your heart. Returning to that oceanic prana. Always here. We're tuning in and really viscerally feeling it as we round up and low, lift off,
and magnetize the heart towards the thighs. So you know this. So you choose circular, bouncing, shaking, stable. See what works for you. As we open to more calm and peace by tuning into the breath, even though we're going active in our solar poses. Inner borders of the feet together. Left leg lifts up. You can rotate the ankle. You don't have to do three-legged dog. You could bend the knee, you could go regular down dog, you could do knee dog, which is puppy pose. Make it work for you. Circling and giant stepping in, forward. Take your time. Remember to bring in third of cares for other. Pulsing up and rounding back and pressing to that back foot as you reach back. And then we go into our kamikaze pigeon. So I'm walking the foot in, rolling onto the little toe side of the foot. Careful of that knee. As you just play in the hip opener. I mean, probably different very much for me on each side. Oh, if it feels better to bring that knee down and kind of rock up and down, just play, experiment, flow. All right, then from here, we lift off. We're not staying in that line, not staying on, and we step it back for the transition, couple breaths and plank. In this way, bring my blanket over. And then one forearm down, then the other. Forearm, plank. And then we touch down. Unfurl the toes, back side to side. Take a rest. Full yogic breath here. Stacking the other hand on top of the hips. Soften the shoulders. Really feel your oceanic breath. The inhalation, the swelling, the expansion, the capacity to open and feel and be and breathe and connect. And then the returning, the exhale back to true nature. Peace, calmness, wisdom, mind, so many qualities of the true nature. And we will open up the scapula to the other side, as promised. So out with the arms, if you want. I didn't see this last time. You can make a little pillow for your head to feel nice. The left elbow bends and the left knee bends, and we roll to the side and we get underneath that scapula and hip. So we open the hip and the shoulder. And you decide how much intensity you're going to bring here. Cleansing. You're in your body, you know. And I feel like complete there. And you come back. Move blanket out. Get ready for set. I love doing several cobras for king cobra or forearm cobra, Bhujangasana. Rising upward today on the wings of joy. Inhale. Pulsing up. Pick up the tongue. Eye gaze up. Open to this moment as we ease back in, taking all that in our prayer pose. Knees wide, heart wide, open. Feel the pranayam, the life force energy, matter, every breath, turning to spirit. Spirit's already here. It's our matter, our mind, and ego that goes off in different directions. But the good news, we bring it back. The true nature is round up. And complete the flow. You guessed it, turn the toes under, lift the knees, magnetize the chest. So this flow, I know I do a lot in classes, and many classes of yoga do this, but see how you can just kind of pulse or bounce and how it changes a bit. Shake it up a little bit. Take out the tension. Residual traumas. Know they're being released, and then stabilize somewhat enough to walk our hands back. And as we're walking back, we're going to bend the knees and wrap, if possible, the forearms behind the calves, the hands in front of the shins, and then possibly go into a forward fold. If that doesn't work for you, any way of a forward fold that feels good to you. Same, especially the back of the neck. And the energy naturally pours to the crown and the spiritual eye. This does that in every forward fold. It's wonderful. Now we just know what's deeper happening here. Cleansing. We get stuck. We get stuck in patterns, and then release our hands. Sit bones go back. Arms reach back, Uttasana, chair pose, palms face one another, strong. Notice what you're releasing. It is no core beliefs. Unworthiness as we reach up. It's a big one. Reaching up. Knowing that the light of the sun is shining on us all. And that better we're sitting in hands. True self-esteem as we come down. And bring the hands to the heart, yield into the earth, mountain pose, or wherever the hands want to be. Maybe you want to swirl them. Bring into the hands on the heart, the throat chakra. Notice how the speaking your truth, and then holding back sometimes with the, there's always a depends on the situation. You want to say something, when you hold them, when you hold them. That discernment, discrimination in the throat chakra, healthy boundaries. Reflect on how your speech has been, to see how your inner speech yourself has been. And then the spiritual eye, see the intuition, wisdom, crown of the head connection to all that is. All right, feeling the effect of that classic flow and to the awakening to higher consciousness in all beings. Now we're going to go to our side flow series. So we did our forward back flow. Now we do our side flow. So make sure you have the block by your side. So we'll turn our left foot out, face in front of the mat, right foot in, and fluidity. Hands, arms, and expansion of the heart. Notice when the palms turn up, the feeling. And we're going to turn that right palm down to open up the left side of the body. And then taking your time in Trikonasana, reaching over, keep expanding. And move the block over to the instep here. Hand could be on the shin, the block, the thigh, just not grabbing the knee. Stacking the shoulders, adding mudra, thumb, index finger together, head to tail connected.
opening to energy and joy. Energy and joy, fill my body cells. You want to stay with the arm up, or if you want to move it into Utthita, Konasana. Keep energizing through the back leg as well as the front. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. Really open to the joy kosha within you. Feels wonderful. Feel the back body. Now we're going to move it into a balance pose. So you can wrap this arm lightly around or place the hand on the hip, bending your left knee. I forgot to say, you can be against the wall. You can move back to the wall if it's more secure for you. Now I'm going to take my block diagonal to the little toe side of the foot. Just kind of come into a bit of a moment of a lunge, but stepping my back foot in, and we're looking in front of the left toes, and here's our balance pose. I expand, maybe the arm reaches up, maybe it doesn't. I expand fully into this moment. Balance poses, we do need to be more present with our focus, our drishti gaze, with the sensations in the body. I expand fully into this moment. Again, you can use the wall, you can tap down by bending the knee, and we'll take rest by draping over that leg. I like to widen it out a bit. Okay, so left hip back, right hip forward. You can use both blocks as you expand fully into the flow of grace, the wisdom of the heart. I expand fully into the flow of grace, the wisdom of the heart. Affirmations, returning us to the truth. Prana, reaching us back to source. Releasing stuckness. Into the flow. You may feel stuckness here. That's okay. Breathe into it. Actually have compassion to it. Even more so. So we can bring kindness into any areas in the body of tension, into the mind. And soften that front knee. And we taste, we come up into our Virabhadrasana one, back foot 30 degrees. Inhale. Take your time now to really track that knee over the second toe. Root down and then rise up with the arms. Really get expansive with the arms. Exhale, squeeze the back of the heart, the shoulders. I attune my will to the source of all power. Do that 3 times. I attune my will to the source of all power. One more time. I attune my will to the source of all power. Now the arms reach up and then we turn, and I like to work that foot in a bit. This is a very open pose, star pose. It can, notice how you feel in star pose. You're kind of vulnerable to do this open, but hopefully you're good and safe if you're going home. What do you feel in this open, expansive place, posture? And then before we go to the other side, we're going to interlock, or the hands could be on the hips if it's too much on the shoulders, use a strap. Hinge forward into Prasarita Padottanasana, coming forward. Those are in. Take your time. Knuckles up to the sky, crown of the head toward the earth. Again and again, relaxing any unnecessary mental burdens, and that's a lot of it. There's confusion going on. Oh. Shake it out. Slide your hands down.
Coming back to your center. You do that in the physical body, navel to the spine. But the breath body, the prana is where it's at. That's where the freedom is. And do your true nature. Okay, hands on top of the thighs, bend the knees a little bit. Ooh, coming up. Watch your head rush.
Let's take a moment before we go to the other side and just bring it in. Take inventory. Back to our mountain installation. Just feeling this deep, deep, deep support of the earth. Energy, the earth energy. First chakra, water. Second, fire. Third, and that heart energy, brain, golden, expansive energy of growth, ability to speak and listen, both, and intuition, crown, and everything, universal expansion all around us. Gratitude for it all. As we step open to our tree. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get a little sip of lemonade here before lemon water before I go to the other side. Great. Have your block. And I forgot to say, if you want to start against the wall and the triangle and then into the half moon standing, feel free to do that. As we open, one step first, the right toes out, the left foot in, get those legs strong. And then expansive through the heart fluid. Resilience, flexibility, and strength are needed. All these qualities as we expand, bring the palms up. And then that left palm comes down, the right arm extends. And we reach over, taking your time. Hip opening as the hand slides down, shin to the block. And then adding mudra, individual self, connecting to the infinite. Head to tail connected. Energy and joy fill my body cells. Remember, the joy kosha is within us. We're opening to it. Energy and joy fill my body cells. Circling around. Remember to play. You know, kids are such great reminders of that joyful spirit. Adults who open to it more. Energy and joy fill my body cells. All right, now we're going to do the wrap. We're going to wrap that arm behind us, if you can, toward the hip bone, around either on the left hip or the right. Looking over, bending your knee, taking your time from the transition into our balance pose. I'm going to step that back foot in, look in front of the right toes, lift off, and maybe not, for you, you'll see that arm unravels. It's harder to look to the side. You can if you want, or you can keep looking down as you expand fully into this moment. Arms poses require that. Notice sensation in your body. If you fall, you do it again. I expand fully into this moment. The breath is active. May feel like it's at the back seat, but it's still there. And when you feel complete, 5 breaths perhaps, you step it down. Take your time to transition up
And when we transition up, so we're coming up, but we're facing wider stance. Well, actually, we'll drape over. We'll drape over before we do our warrior pose. I know it's getting fun. So we draw that right hip back, left hip forward. Into the pyramid pose, bow into the wisdom of the heart, forward bend. Open to the flow of grace. Take away today the prana, the transforming matter to spirit. The key is prana. With subtle, radiant life force energy, already whole, already free. The last stages of Raja Yoga are about prana meditation. The gentle concentration to return there, gentle focus to remember. And then bending the knee, having that foot wide, 30 degrees, coming up now into our warrior one. Draw that right hip back, left hip forward. Nice strong standing flow. Feels good, I hope, for you. As we surge the arms up, and we're doing that squeeze and soak. The shoulders. I attune my will to the source of all power. Standing up and rooting down. Grounded and expansive. I attune my will to the source of all power. Okay. And from here, we're going to rise up. Trim the toes in, maybe heel toe in a bit and go into that star pose. Feel that expansive energy, maybe a little bit more embodying now. Just notice what you feel in it. Yeah. Okay, and we'll complete this cycle of our Paramhansa by hinging forward, hands on the hips. And we'll turn this way because what we're going to do as we hinge forward, we're going to walk our hands back between the legs, fingertips away from you, chin tucking. Really here, add those bandhas, navel to the spine, chin tucks to the hollow at the throat. Really hear the sound of the breath. Hear the pranayam, it is the music. Each chakra has a particular sound, vibration. So we're going to be in generalized flow, but we could tune into the root chakra, and first and second have the throat chakra here. And you could, particularly if there's something coming up where you have to, it can be a little dicey family stuff and want to express yourself. You're not sure how this is all going to go, and yet you want to be true to yourself and don't want to abandon yourself. You can do some throat chakra moves and some sounding breath work, which would be helpful in the expression connected to the heart as you bring your hands to the hips and come up. Ooh, arch the head, Raj. Grounding down soon. Good. Swirl it. That's how you feel. I'm going to bring the arms up, shoulder height eventually. Knees are bending. Okay. Awesome. Let's take it down. Let's take a moment here. Feel a mountain lengthen up through the crown, reaching our hands out and then up. And if you can, with your knees squatting down all the way to the earth.
The inner knees come toward one another, the heels lift off, of course, and come down like this. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then we come down with our hands. Just like we did earlier. Take our time for strength to come back down. I'll do a few bridge cycles that ease the back out and come into Shavasana. So plugging in the feet, lifting the heart. Big exhales. For strength active, low back, mid back, upper back. Press through the feet. Arms reach up overhead. And let's just hug those knees in. Remember how we started so long ago, an hour ago. Rocking side to side, the tune in. Wow, how's my body feeling? How's my spirit? The spirit's here, but my breath is connecting me to spirit. That's pranayam. Wow. Maybe I knew that, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't quite make the connection like that. What a gift we all have. All right, and then we circle around to tune in. And we will do a couple bridge flows, meaning plug in the feet, plug in the spine to start. Inhale, arms reach up, but let those shoulder blades touch. Inhale, if you can, hips lift up, inner thighs magnetize toward one another. If possible, can the arms go up overhead or not? That's okay, no problem. So the classic affirmation in this bridge pose, exhale, take your time melting the upper, mid, lower back to the earth. The classic affirmation, every thought could be a bridge back to my true self, my true nature. We could take it deep, we get to every breath. Every breath is a return to my true nature. Take that in. Hear the oceanic sound. Let's do it again. Inhale, lift up, arms reach up. Notice what happens when we enter lock and swirl, make a circle. Helps open the shoulders. In a gentle, slowly fluid way, a few times in each direction. We're still feeling the strength. You can also use a block underneath your sacrum. And then maybe the arms reach up over. Take your time, really luxuriate in that melting down. Every breath is connection to my true nature. Every breath. And notice when the sacrum touches down, do you want to contain the low back and the hips? Have the feet wide, knees apart. Your hips don't want to open, or going into the Supta Baddha Konasana. Either way, we're just going to luxuriate in the full yoga breath here before we move into Shavasana and deepen this practice. Now keep checking into your body and know if you want to do the neck release with the strap. I'm not going to demo that because I know you know it, but you put that on the back of your neck and have the foot extended, and that could be part of your Shavasana, the neck release, and then switch, and then both legs will be doing that. Wonderful hammock neck release. If that isn't calling you, that was a request the students there for deep neck release, supported neck release. Whatever version feels good for Shavasana, I'm going to remind us that if you have a chair or a ball, that can be quite lovely to get that gentle inversion. And the feet could be like this, or they could be in the Supta Konasana. That's what I wanted to remind us of. But take your time getting into our nest, settling in. And, you know, it's a very interesting feedback. People have actually shared with me that when they, not so much, I don't think the students here, but I don't know what's going on in your home, but clients and friends have told me when they do yoga on Zoom, they tend to not do the Shavasana because the brain just goes, okay, I'm done. I'm done. It's so important to stay with that deeper restoration. But that just shows you how the mind can, you know, check, I'm good. So invitation to really drop in more and really allow this unfolding to happen on deeper and deeper restorative levels, because we restore back to our truth, back to our wholeness. Okay. Once you get set up, we'll, deeper and deeper levels. Okay. So when you're ready, just trying to letting the head release from side to side. Really, the focus has been tuning into the sound of the breath in all the classes, but especially today, that divine connection of prana from matter back to spirit. And the gratitude for this ability to connect so deeply, breath by breath. We'll go from the bottom up today, meaning starting at your feet, maybe wiggling the toes, circling the ankles, left and right. Notice sensation in your feet. The ability to literally carry you through our days, our hours, and minutes. Noticing sensation in the ankles, rotation you want to do there, or stability, the calves, the knees. Flexibility of our knees, gratitude for that, even though they may be stiff and sore, still allowing that gratitude for what they can do. And the thighs and the hips are moving us forward again, that same type of ability to move and rotate, turn, go back, go forward, go sideways. Such an important directional center of our body, the hips. Breathing deep, 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 deep into the belly, into the low back. Not only for digestion of our food, but digestion of our life experience. And ability to assimilate and digest and process things that are happening on a day-to-day basis. But then we can return to
peaceful center, perhaps in our heart. Gratitude for the circulation. The ability of the resilience of the feeling and sharing and connection. The ability to love. And the heart chakra radiates out, not only the heart, but into the shoulders, down the arms, into the palms of the hands and the digits of the fingers. So what we feel in our heart, we share with our hands in the world, in our creativity, in our life. And then we bring that back in into the heart center. Breathing in, breathing out. And moving up to the throat chakra, ability to speak the truth at times, use discretion and discernment, maybe hold that truth for a while because it may not be heard by others. There's a lot of discrimination there. Healthy boundaries of the throat. And the listening to others, not just with the ears, but with the heart, with the eyes, the head, softening the jaw, feeling sensation inside the mouth, the tongue, the teeth, gums. Oceanic sound at the back of the throat, most audible. The brain's ability to do so much. Organization, discrimination, so many things going on in the brain. Just let your forehead soften, the back of your head, the sides of the head. Opening the crown chakra, feel the connection, the universal life force and truth and wholeness. Prana, returning us back to our true nature. Our true nature is always here, always whole, always free. From matter to spirit. Resting. And the movement of the breath, pauses, sound. And just notice if it's time for you to return to movement or if you'd like to stay. and restoration. Completely up to you. If you are returning to movement, do so slowly, gradually. Okay, tuning into the breath. Resting. And sending this energy to others. We did it through movement on the mat. Now we're doing it through sound and vibration. And the syllable sound. Visualizing anyone you would like to send healing energy to. It could be a place on the planet. It could be the entire planet. The inhalation and the sound come from the belly to start. Inhaling. Go to your vibration. And bringing the hands into Namaste, acknowledging that conscious awareness within everyone and everything. That's where we are one. Namaste to each and every one of you. And so appreciate you showing up. And I will end the class with the recording.